guys, welcome to the Next Generation University. My name is Nishal Raj, and we're going to start on the topic what are there to learn in computer science and how can we learn them faster. Yeah, so moving straight on with the topic. So, you can take the notes also because I think in universities students take notes. So, it's good that you take notes. So, yeah, moving on with the first thing. So, it's web development, and I'll be telling what languages are there along with what domain it is, so that it will be easier for you to learn those languages or even go into that domain using those languages. Yeah, so moving on with the topic. So first is web development, and it uses HTML, CSS, JavaScript, different frameworks of JavaScript like React, Vue, Angular, and Ruby. So yeah, and next one, Android development. We can use Kotlin, Java, Dart, JavaScript, and even we can create an application using C++ or Python. iOS development, Swift, Objective-C, which is not being used much now, but still it is a language which we can use to create a iOS application. Dart again with using Flutter SDK, JavaScript and C++. JavaScript again using like the React Native part. Yep. So hardware development, we can use C, C++, embedded C. So these things are there for hardware development. Backend or server building, JavaScript, Python, Golang, Ruby, Rust, Java, Kotlin. So we can use any language. Like I have seen like Go, even Kotlin being used for backend or server development. So it just focuses. You just need to focus on what language there is for server development or backend development, and which one is faster as per your use. Moving on, yeah, blockchain development, JavaScript again, Python, Golang, C++, Ruby, Rust, we can use these things. Game development, we can use Lua, C++, JavaScript, and Kotlin. Artificial intelligence, which is like in boom these years. So artificial intelligence, we can use C++, Python being mostly used, and you can find different packages for that. Same. Machine learning, again C++ and Python. Automation, Python, JavaScript, Golang, Bash. And what I mean by automation is that you just have to create like either a script or suppose software or suppose any web app running which is working on any particular script, and that particular script is automating your task or automating a task which you need to be done, like suppose scrapping some data from geolocations or scrapping data, or suppose scrapping the whole internet. So it's a tedious task, but yeah, scrapping the whole internet, or even scrapping Amazon.com, or scrapping Flipkart to see which books or which items there are which are like trending or going into high supply or less demand. So these kind of things. Even you can scrap like stock market. So yeah, there are so many things to scrap, and you can automate these things. Even you can use automation such as which person came into your room. So you can create a script or even code a full module into Raspberry Pi and use those things. So yeah, these things combine hardware development and automation, or if you want, you can include machine learning. So yeah, these things will be talking later on in the different videos. But for now, we'll just be the scope of this video is just to tell you that these things are there in software development, and you can go through different topics and try different criterias, and even we'll be talking about what are the steps that you can use to learn them faster. Yeah. Moving on. So we have computer vision. So computer vision, as you can see, like AR, VR things, and the meta classes. These things come into the computer vision, and we can use Python for that. Data analytics or data scientist. So we can use R, Python, Golang, C++ for these things, because these are really large data sets, and we need to do those things really faster, and we need a language that works faster, that is energy efficient. So we can go with the machine level languages, such as we can go with the not assembly one, or we can go with C++ obviously, because that's a faster one, and it's a really great one to start your even the coding journey or development journey or even as a beginner. Yeah. So the last but not the least, the one more thing is security. So security, what comes in security is that infosec development or hacking, ethical hacking. I mean, so these things come into security. And for security, I won't suggest any language. But for security, you need to be really smart. You need to be very logical, and you need to not know any language, but yet get the command of whatever language you see or whatever logic you see. So you should be able to understand whatever logic there are. So I'll say for security, you need to learn all the things, or you need to learn nothing. So yeah. Maybe you are in first year or second year or even third year, or maybe you are looking for a change into the domain. So all these things will come in handy. And what I can suggest you is that even if you're a working professional, so you can go through all the following steps which I'm gonna tell you, so that you can learn things really faster. So these steps are nothing but those steps which I took myself, because as I told in the introductory video that I had 1 or 2 years left before my college gets over, and I had to learn so many things because I got to know about these things really late through one friend or through looking into blogs and different videos. Yeah. So moving on. So what are the 5 steps that I'll tell you which will help you learn faster? So first of all, whichever domain or whichever language you choose, do a crash course, like 4 to 5 crash courses. Watch for like 15 minutes to 30 minutes of crash courses, and after that, create a note of those crash courses, like whatever things you noted, and you may see some similarities between different crash courses. So those are the main points you need to focus on, because those are most popular. Next will be articles, reading documentations, reading blogs, because these will be the things that will let you know what deep there is into that language or into that domain, so that you know a bit of the syntaxes, bit of the best practices for that particular language or the domain. Next, moving on to github.com, create your account if not already created, and go with searching that domain, like suppose it's blockchain or automation or suppose app development. So search the particular domain, and whatever repositories you will get, go into that repositories, clone that repository, look into their code, and just try to copy and paste. So copy and paste will be our fourth point. So why I say copy and paste is that copy and paste will make it a practice for you. So suppose I went on to github.com and I searched for an app that is written in Kotlin. I went through the files, I cloned the code, I ran it into my computer, and am just looking through what are different files, because I have seen like how application is created from the articles or the blogs or the crash courses. So now I have the folder structures to look into it, and then I can see what functions there are and how those are working. I'm not saying that you will be getting these things just in a day or a week, but if you're getting these things in suppose 2 weeks or suppose a month, so you will be getting things really greatly, and you will be diving deep into these things, because you're not just learning things, but you are looking into the code, you're looking how things are built, and you're trying to understand that okay, so this main function is doing this thing, suppose this function is sending email to the server. So these kind of things. And last step I'll tell you is that develop something, pick a problem, solve it, or if you see any problem or anything that is not built properly, you can just pick that idea and create your own what I'll say, your own software or your own application or anything, not just to copy that particular idea or implement that particular idea, but to work on a real life project. So these 5 steps will really help you a lot, and I'll go through these things again. So first will be choosing your domain and going through the crash courses, suppose 4 or 5 crash courses, then reading the articles, the documentations, the blogs, And moving on with github.com and searching the different projects, looking into different repositories, and copy pasting the codes, running it, trying to understand whatever time it takes, and implementing different functions. Even you can try to modify different functions or some UI to see how that works. And last but not the least, developing your own projects or implementing a implemented idea but much better. Yeah. So one thing I've written here is that why these steps? So why not learn, then use the courses, use Udemy, buy the courses or tech tuition, and then have a grasp of whatever things are there, like suppose 3 months or 6 months, and then working on some projects. So as I already told that this is not a faster way. So faster way will be doing things while learning, right? So suppose, yeah, as I already told that suppose I have some blockchain project to do, and giving an example of my college days. So just for understanding that, suppose I got an idea that I need to create a blockchain. I want to know what blockchain is and how that works. So I'm going through different crash courses. So okay, so what blockchain is, how does that work? I've seen some videos. Moving on to what languages that help me create a blockchain, or how can I use the nodes, like suppose Bitcoin node or Ethereum node to create that thing. And then moving on to GitHub to find a simple yet understandable project so that I can use that, and I can understand like, what codes are written and how can I modify them and how can I run them and understand better. So I did all those things. Then suppose I chose JavaScript, I use Node.js to pick a node from Bitcoin or Ethereum or even Binance, and then coding that thing so that okay, so now I took a node and now I'm creating my own chain. And giving another example of suppose automation or suppose scripting, maybe I'm using Python. I know that okay, so Python is there something that I can use to automate stuffs or scrap some data. And I want to see that okay, so USA is having this kind of weather, but I need to have like 2 years of weather so that I can predict what the next month or what the next year gonna be like in USA. So I went through their government website where they have put all the weather. I wrote a script, and that script won't be much longer, but I think 10 to 20 lines of code. And that will be just a basic outline, and you will be getting some data, and you will be arranging those data, and you can then write more code to analyze those things, or even add AI to see how the future will be for that country in terms of weather, right? Yeah, so I hope there might be so many other things in computer science which I also don't know, but what I've experienced for the past 7 8 years, everything I've included in this thing. And I would like you to comment down whatever other fields you have seen in computer science which is not mentioned here, and which we can talk on in later videos, or even if you need some assistance or some guidance, so you can just DM me. Yep, and one more thing, a friend of mine, so he has started his own YouTube channel, and you can go through that YouTube channel. Its name is Krishna Day. So you can go through his YouTube channel, and he's also uploading so many good content for computer science students who are in first year, second year, or even for working professionals. So he's currently in managerial post at a startup. So he's going through his journey, and as I told you in the introductory video, that we'll be connecting with people who are going into their own journey so that we can help the university, help the student who are there in the university. So yeah, again, welcome back.